My name is Ajayi Abayomi, and I'm a surveyor by profession. For some years now, I've been working with Green Oak Properties Limited, handling their surveying and taking care of anything as regards to the surveying department of the company. Over the years, I've been able to gather so much wealth of experience as regards to surveying, talking about the likes of engineering surveying, going forward to cadastral surveying, in which we all know as land survey, the common land survey, going forward to hydrographical survey, and I've been able to amass a wealth of knowledge as regards to surveying. In real estate environments, the role of a surveyor is without bounds, but I'm going to break it down into three different aspects. So the first role of a surveyor is before buying. The second role of a surveyor is during the purchase of the property, that's during acquiring the property. And third role is after. Okay, what did I mean by before buying? So before buying is, as a surveyor, we go down to the property to pick the coordinates. So picking the coordinates, and in which we use this to check the acquisition status of the landed property. Since we are taking Epe as a case study, so I'm going to basically talk much of Epe, since we are having a lot of our property in Green Oak in Epe. Now we have acquisition. What we check in charting, we have acquisition, and going forward we also have the land use. Okay, what did I mean by acquisition? A land, since Epe is actually a rural area, so major parts of Epe falls within agricultural land use. That's for the land use. But for the acquisition, a land can either be acquired, and if a land is acquired, then we also have a land that are not acquired. So for the acquired land, a land can be committed or non-committed. So okay, I'm going to go further, breaking committed land. I'm going to expatiate further on that. So committed land, these are land, it might be committed to a private entity, or let me say a private organization, and a land can be committed to a government organization. For instance, when after checking land through the land bureau, that's what you're popularly known as Alausa, so picking up the coordinates and sending it to them to check the status of the land. After checking it and discover such property falls within a committed land, so we actually go further to in our findings to check if it is actually committed to government acquisition, or it is committed to a private acquisition. So for a government acquisition, you can easily, if it is allocation, like lands that fall within government scheme, so you can easily just buy such properties from government. But if it is not land that falls within private bodies, such land has already been allocated to them already. Such land they're actually committed. Then going forward to the land use, we have mixed use. So we have agric, we have residential, we have industrial land use. But for the major property, all the property we sell in Green Oak Properties all falls within residential land use. So after the before buying process, then we move forward to during the purchase. So that's where we prepare the survey plan. So the survey plan is a document that contains the name of the client, the location, the coordinates. That we call it parameters as surveyor. So the coordinates. Then going forward, we now have after the purchase. So that is when we now check again. We check the entire boundary to ensure none of the part falls within any government acquisition, and also we now collect all these documents and present it to the land bureau for further title processing. Okay, so for the demolition process going on currently in Lagos State, so a lot of reasons caused all these issues, but I'll just take few points. So for firstly, number one, the negligence on the part of investors, because landed property is not like a car, it's not like a laptop that you buy and you live with it. No, it is going to remain at that particular location. So what do I mean by negligence? So most investors just believe that, let me just go out, make a purchase, I see this land, I'm buying it. No, purchasing a landed property, especially in Lagos, goes beyond all that. You have to call a surveyor, involve the expertise of a surveyor, in which they will do the thorough checking. Okay, we are taking Ekpe for as a case study. In Ekpe, we have the land use and also we have the acquisition status. So like I made mention earlier, for the acquisition status, we are going to check, okay, is it committed or is it not committed? If it's committed, what is the land committed to? And for the land use, we will check, okay, is it residential, is it industrial, is it mixed use, is it military land use? So you will not be making a purchase of a landed property that is being zoned for agricultural land use for a residential property. So that's the first. Then secondly, when a landed property override public interest. So due to the enactment of the constitution, we are making use of that as the Land Use Act. So no landed property must override the public interest. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Probably the government of a state want to do the construction of a railway or maybe probably of a road, of a major road. Take it for instance, the coastal road construction that is going on currently. So if such land falls within the ROW, that is the right of way. So the government will have to demolish the parts that falls within the right of way. And in most cases, they always compensate the affected individual. So if they have a valid document, then there is compensation. Then going forward, so for security reason also. So for instance, a lot of people are living in shanties or maybe even criminals. So if a landed property, or let me say an undeveloped building is not fully developed, and okay, maybe probably the place turns bushy, it can harbor a lot of criminal activities. So this is also one of the major reasons that cause demolition. Then I'll take this finally. So for setback, a lot of investors believe that they are just going to buy the land. A lot of people even make a purchase of landed property and start construction right in front of the ocean as if they want to see a mermaid. So it is not meant to be so. There is a regulation. There is a setback you must have from power line. There is a setback you must have from railway line. There is a setback that you must have from lagoon, from water banks. So these are all the major reasons that lead to demolition of property in Lagos State and in Ekpe. And for our properties in Green Oak, so we don't buy an agri property for residential. So if you check all our properties, so they are all residential property, fully residential. And I'm going to take one of our current projects, that's Green Oak Oasis. So I'm going to take it as a case study. So we have done the consent to survey in the title perfection. We have done the land information. They have come for inspection. That's from the Land Bureau, that's Alausa. They have come for the site inspection. And currently what you are expecting now is just for us to have our assessment and pay all the necessary amount to the government in order to have a C of O on this property. So like I said earlier, we don't buy a military land use property for residential. We check through both acquisition map and also even checking through the land use information and making some background check on the true owner of the property through our lawyer and legal department. So my advice to investors is, if you are buying from a reputable company like Green Oak Companies, then you don't have to worry about the process of chatting, because the company would have done all that. You only just to come and make the purchase. But if you are buying from maybe family, individual owner or monile, then definitely ensure your level of compliance is very high. That's the registration, the regulations of that particular community in terms of acquisition of the property, checking the land status, the acquisition status of the land. Then going forward, there is a Latin word that says qui plantator. Solo said it, that whatever is affixed to the land belongs to the land. When you buy a landed property, so ensure you, at least if it's going to be a one coach, do it just to secure your property. Then I'm going to end it all with no amount of money you spend on chatting, confirming the status of a landed property, either it is free, committed, the land use is too much, you can never overspend.